What's up, YouTube? I just got back from my final ketamine injection for like my stabilization. I had 6 in total, with each one kind of going up in dose. After each one, like, I didn't react poorly from the treatment. I reacted pretty well. I felt pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good right now. When it started, the guy who was injecting me with ketamine at first, it was a med student, right? And he told me that it would be like a week after your last injection that you would feel the most of the antidepressant effects. He mentioned, you know, I might experience some hallucinations and what it's gonna be like. My first dose was just kind of get to know you shot. I watched some, like, the moving art series on Netflix, which we watched like 3 times. It's just like the main one they show there, but you can watch whatever you want at the Ketamine Wellness Center in Federal Way. But basically, the first time, like, instantly when the ketamine began to like hit, like every single time, how it would feel is just like my brain would be opening up, right? And all these hard questions I was dealing with beforehand, like, suddenly I would like have the answer to, and they would always like be like this like really heavy like spiritual shit, like, you know, like, why are we here? Like, why are we born to die? What are we going through this life for? Like, especially when it's just such like an insane and I'm trying to think of the word, like, you know, it's an abysmal's not the right word, you know, it's parodiable, it's mockable, it's oh, you know, oh, I can't remember the word, but anyway, you know, you're just like this spinning wheel that's spinning on to a dead end, a fucking hole that's just gonna spin around in and then fucking die. And along the way, you create other spinning wheels in your place to go about doing the whole same thing you're doing. You know, and like, before the treatments, I would have to say, like, the question, like, was just why? Why go through all this? All when it's complete bullshit. And I have to say, like, on ketamine, in the first few tries, like, I think I got like my answer for that. I don't really feel like the need to share what my answer for that is. It's a bit personal, but that's kind of how it would go. Is like, I would like be looking at the television, or I'd be looking at myself, or I'd be scrolling in a notebook and thinking a bunch of thoughts. There'd be a bunch of these like quite philosophical or metaphysical questions that didn't seem like I would be able to answer them normally. But on ketamine, it's just like all the answers of the universe were open to me. And yes, it was. I would have to say that my answers, like, if I were to give them to a sober self, like, they probably wouldn't have liked them, or wouldn't have been able to like really open up to them. They didn't know what the fuck they were looking for. You know, you're looking for answers where the answer is not gonna release you or save you. The answer to these questions are almost completely pointless in the end. All they do is kind of help nudge you back to, you know, continuing on the same process without going completely fucking berserk and killing yourself. Like, that's what they're really for. And so that's kind of just like what I would do, is I would just sit down, I would chill, I would meander over the questions of the universe for an hour and a half. Once we watched fucking Futurama for an hour and a half, and that was the funniest hour and a half of my life. I gotta tell you, that was like the best freaking experience ever. Cosmos and Futurama, both pretty freaking sick, I have to say, when on ketamine. I only really experienced one major hallucination. I would say, like, sometimes, like, I'm taking this for depression and PTSD too, by the way, but, like, sometimes, like, when I would be staring at the TV would be in center focus, and, like, the TV, nothing would be going on with the TV, except sometimes I would think to myself, like, is there something behind the TV? Is, like, everything I'm seeing now inside the television, you know, weird thoughts that made me laugh and giggle and shit. But it was cool. But, like, sometimes in the side of my eye, I would see, like, the med student. Later, like, I guess he quit. I'm just gonna guess, you know, it's probably the corporation's fault, if anything. I mean, they try to insinuate, like, he didn't want to work here anymore. I'm just gonna guess it was the evil empire. I'm not gonna lie, you know? I stick up for the little man. I'm guessing it was the evil empire that got him. You know, like, there were probably some pretty good reasons not to work there. Whatever. Anyway. Like, I got some nurses. One of the nurses, I kept calling Nurse Cratchit. Like, even though, like, she wasn't a bad person, like, that's just kind of the vibe I got from her. But basically, I'm chilling with my Uber driver right now. But anyway, I would see him, like, turn into all these people from my past, and, like, it wouldn't be, like, that bad. Like, they weren't, like, people I necessarily wanted to see from my past. But, I gotta say, like, from the point of view of, from that point of view, like, all my fucking problems with these people, all my problems with the past just kind of melted away. And, like, it didn't really matter anymore. I was on disassociative, so I could disassociate from these problems, and it didn't matter. None of these things mattered. It was all stupid things from the past that didn't matter anymore. It couldn't possibly matter anymore unless I was sober. Or, like, I guess, like, not, like, gone through the treatment of ketamine. Which I gotta say, I feel a lot less fucking depressed. I wanted to die before the start of this. I don't want to die anymore. And I'm not really sad. I'm not drinking every day. Not smoking pot every day. Feeling happier every day. Still some problems left over, mainly with PTSD. Gonna look into further treatment, like other treatment plans for that than ketamine. But you know, I'm hoping, like, in the future, if I become depressed again, like, this will always, like, be there for me, hopefully, so I can, like, just get right back on track, because I fucking can't stand depression. I hate it. The most major hallucination I experienced during the treatment was, I was with Nurse Cratchit, right? Nurse Ratchet, whichever one. Which is it? Uber driver? Is it Nurse Cratchit or Nurse Ratchet? Ratchet. Nurse Ratchet, okay, excuse me. I was sitting with Nurse Ratchet, and she was asking me, like, oh, are you doing okay? You know, are you feeling good? It's not too much for you? Anyway, no, of course it's not too much for me. Are you kidding? I could do all the ketamine. But Nurse Cratchit, like, the first thing I noticed was my entire environment changed. Like, it was a gray, sad, dull, shitty morning that day, which it was like my second to last treatment. And I got the big room. It was all dark in there and shit. It wasn't that big of a room though. It was kind of a small room, but not really like a so small of a room I would complain about. But anyway, I was having a headache that day, and I started to notice my headache was disappearing, and I started to notice like my entire environment. It wasn't like it was just gone. It had completely changed into something totally new. That like I was just simply like I didn't know where I was. Like at first, what happened was I regressed back to like a little child. I was like a little kid, right? None of the shitty things in my fucking history ever happened to me. And Nurse Cratchit was my mom. She was young again. She looked like my mom back when she was young. And I remembered where we were. I knew where we were. We were in the apartment we owned. My mom owned, I guess. Before my dad died. We were back at the apartment. And that was pretty crazy. And then it changed again. And Nurse Cratchit changed into someone whose face I had never seen before. I'd never seen this person's face before. I had no idea who they were. And the environment changed. And I had no idea where this environment was. But I felt really good inside. I felt really comfortable, really safe with this person, and in this environment it was really opened up. Like I was looking out the door, like there was a doorway like right in front of me. I was looking, but now the door was open, but to the right of it was another hallway that just wasn't there. It didn't actually exist, but I could plainly see it, and I could even see down it where it was leading. It looked like it was leading outside. All this sun was coming in. All this beautiful light. The day was so beautiful now. Like during this, brief moment. And just as soon as it kind of came, it also kind of left, but not totally. I don't really know how to explain it. But like that was like probably the freakiest thing that happened to me. And it was like really cool, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I would definitely, like, if you're going through depression, PTSD, other emotional problems and whatnot, I don't know, like, everything it might be able to help with, but, you do you. Like, I would recommend ketamine therapy if, that sounds up to your alley, and if you've been having issues in the past with depression, PTSD, and stuff like that. I got mine at the Ketamine Wellness Center in Federal Way, because, like, I wanted it injected. I wanted it in... I want to have a med student. I didn't want to, like, just get a shit ton of ketamine, from the streets, and then try to inject that into myself, point blank. It probably, it almost definitely would have been cheaper, but I don't really think that's the point. Like, I've been dealing with a lot of depression after I dislocated both my arms, a while ago, a few months ago. It was pretty bad, a lot of pain. Ketamine even helped with the pain, too. Yeah, and they injected me with a crap ton of ketamine when I was in the emergency room getting my shoulders relocated after I had dislocated them. Anyway, that's about it. I'm gonna leave now. So, I hope this has been very useful for you, and bye.